Check.
Check 1, 2.
All right, we're back. What is up, everybody? It's your boy Joey Schmoey back for another episode of the Raptorstrike.
Hey, where's Noah? He just.
Hey.
I think he got abducted by aliens, guys.
Yes.
Oh, there he is. So, technical difficulties.
Now there's another episode. Raptorstrike episode 31.5. But yes, technical difficulties. If you were on the first half of the stream, the internet just went out and cut the stream. YouTube cut it and just put it as a video. So you have episode 31 and episode 31.5.
Yeah. So, internet went down. Sorry.
So,
We're back.
remember the stories we told earlier this year that I quit my job? Well, I forgot to pay the internet, okay?
Yep. This was the warning from it. Like, hey.
This is the warning shot.
Yes.
I'm just playing.
But no, you're talking about the small business that you go to.
Agave's Jewelry?
Yes.
Yes. I just like how much passion and heart he puts into it. Like you're saying, a lot of the bigger businesses, when you're just a ton of employees, you really lose that. Because at that point, everyone's just there for a paycheck, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But with the Agaves, you know, you get that interpersonal, conversations, and he gets to know you. And I've been doing business with him for 5, 6, 7 years now, and I couldn't be happier. I mean,
Yes.
Sounds good.
But, so what would you say for a small business?
It's food trucks.
Food trucks, yes. Food trucks. The reason we bring up small businesses is that is what we want this episode to
the 0.5
the 0.5 to focus on is why small businesses are important. Like, that, like we already touched on, you have that closer kind of customer owner or customer employee relationship, and like our history with small businesses. So we're going to go over that for the rest of the episode, and we're starting with our history and experiences with small businesses. And Noah, I'll let you start with that since you had a crack at owning a small business before this.
Similar to a lot of the things that we've talked about in previous episodes, you know, more than likely you are extremely lucky if you are to start a business and it be successful straight off the bat. You know, it's really hard to do that unless you found like for me, there's a small business that I've stumbled upon, or a small business idea that I've stumbled upon, and I'd like to see if we can figure something out to do it. But it's mobile charging for like people with Teslas or all the EV, like
tow behind a big diesel generator, and then
like there's a guy that does it. Not here in Texas, but he has like a little Ford Ranger, like an older one, and he just has a generator in the bed of the truck. He pulls up to you, plugs you in, and then he just waits. Then there you go, just on the go, charging. I thought that was really cool. I mean, it just goes to show how not ready we are for EV, because I mean, I forget to charge my phone. Do you think I'm going to remember to charge my car? But I think that's a really cool little business idea. But when we started with Raptorstrike Performance back in 2019, 2020, you learn a lot of what you should do, what you shouldn't do, and people you should never do business with again. But it's one of those things that you have to have the passion for it, because in that kind of sense, when you work for a big company, you can have a really good week, and one person can mess it up for everybody, and now all of a sudden, now you're having a really bad week. But when you own the place, you have more power, of course. You have a lot more responsibility, But if you have a really good week, it's because you did it, you know, and great job. It is not easy. I can tell you that. Ask me how I know. You know, it's not easy. If you have a really good week, it is it's yours and your team. If you I had you guys and my brother and my family.
Yeah.
Helped me a lot. So it's like, if we had a good week, it was because we did it. If we had a bad week, that was my fault. There was nobody else to blame but me because, I'm making the decisions. Unfortunately, I made a lot of, I don't want to call them bad decisions because the way I think of it is like that's my characteristics. That's my character speaking, to where if someone couldn't pay, I just said, take your car. Usually, not usually, shops will keep your car until you can pay. And for me, if you couldn't pay me, I told you, take your car. It's fixed. Because if I keep your car, you can't go to work. You can't go to work, you don't get paid. You don't get paid, I can't get paid. So that kind of defeats the purpose. So take your car.
You were too nice.
Go to work. Yeah, I was too nice. And we always argued, my brother and I, because he would tell me, don't do that. You can't. There's some people you can trust. There's others you can't, and that's just the way the world works. But in that kind of sense, I learned maybe I shouldn't be doing business where I need to be,
tough like that.
Yeah, like compared to now where Raptorstrike, we have a keychain, this, that, that's one thing. But service and all that other stuff, completely different. It's know your crowd, know your timing, know your funds, all of those things come into play. Another little mom and pop, even though, just for the sake of the thing, is like Whimsical Art Studios. We see them a lot at our events for Alamo Hero Con. And again, it's they've gotten to the point where they just recognize us as we're walking by, and it's like, hey, how's it going? And we have a little conversation, and and I like it because as you mentioned, you can know the owner comes out because they're passionate about it, similar to like Acadiana's Cafe, which is here in San Antonio off of 410. I've been going there since I was a kid. And the owner's still there. I mean, it's kind of hard to miss him because he's the tallest dude there. He just towers over everybody. Mm-hmm. And, he'll go up to your table and ask you how you're doing. And, there's usually a lot older people there eating. Like older. When I tell you 3 times my age, I'm telling you 3 times my age, okay? But, it's just a good time because there's feeling, there's passion, there's heart. They worked hard to build that name, and they want to make sure it stays good. Unlike Walmart or Target, where they couldn't care less that you don't go shop for them again because they have a million other people to take my spot. Compared to like small tattoo shops and wrap shops, Deviation, Wrap Cuts by Jaws, they're so as y'all know, when I had Raptorstrike Performance, I always said I was unemployed. Mm-hmm. Because I'm only self-employed when I don't have to be there. Like if I can go somewhere and I got mechanics and everybody working, I'm self-employed. But if I'm the one doing the work, I'm unemployed. Like I'm just an employee. You know what I mean? I that's how in my head I'm saying, like, I don't say that I'm self-employed. No.
Here comes the IRS.
Yeah, here comes the IRS. But you know what I mean. Like that's my way of thinking. Like I have to be unemployed because if I don't make money, it's over. I can't pay my bills, I can't pay my health insurance. I have to work. So when I can be somewhere else and still being able to, make a living, then I'm self-employed. That's how I see it in my head. It only helps me work harder instead of being like, oh, I'm self-employed.
Okay.
Right?
I'll take your word for
it. I don't know what you mean by that.
See.
Joey?
Yes. With small businesses where I started, the hardest decision you will face is choosing whether walk away or try harder. Yeah.
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 It's not
pretty much
easy.
Yo, I mean,
now walking away doesn't mean you failed. It just means you learned another way not to do something.
Yeah.
So I figured out maybe I'm not made to have a mechanic shop. Maybe I'm not made to have an audio, install store. Maybe my thing is I want to help people, and I'm still trying to figure out how I can do that. We're helping people as much as we can. Do I help myself a lot? Probably not, which is why, you got to save yourself before you save others, but we're trying.
That's why I tell you to put your mask on first whenever you're in an airplane and the oxygen mask come down.
Yeah. I don't know about y'all, but that mask comes down.
See,
don't worry about me.
it's like, I'm out of here. So with kind of to go off what Noah was saying first was that, or not what Noah said, what Sergeant Hood said, walk away or try harder. That's the two decisions that you have to make every time you have a small business or even a goal. I know with Raptorstrike, there has been nights that, in my personal experience, that I was really stressed out about certain things, and it got me into like a freak out mode. And it was either you walk away or you try harder. So you have to make a decision in that moment. Are you done with this? Do you not want to handle this? Or do you look at the bigger picture? And if the bigger picture and the end goal outweigh the immediate stress, then you keep going. But if the immediate stress looks like it's going to lead to even more stress without a better outcome, you know what? Hang up your boots. Go back to the drawing board. Figure something out.
How do you hang up boots?
You tie the laces.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I was thinking cowboy boots.
You tie the flaps. I don't know. You can
but
do it
it's because we haven't moved on while we're here tonight. As this is probably one of the lowest viewings we've had in a very long time.
Yeah, especially since we dropped offline for a second.
We were at like 13 before we dropped.
Everyone probably thought we ended the stream, but we didn't. We're here.
Here we are. Thank you for those of you that tuned back in.
Thank you.
It means a lot to us.
It does. Part of that is you get to that point where you're like, for what? What am I doing?
It's like, what am I doing this for?
Yeah, you're doing a lot at work, period, and then you're trying to do extra on the weekend, and sometimes it's like it never stops. I know for you, Joey, now that you've taken over, Instagram and social medias, it never stops for you because you do a post every night, except for Sundays, right?
Sundays, yeah.
Okay. But I don't know where I was going with that. I was probably going somewhere dark, so I'll take another turn. At that rate,
let's move on before we get depressed here.
Going back to
no, it's not depressed. It's just like we're trying, and at this point, I've said it multiple times. We don't know what we're doing. We're still trying to figure it out.
Yep. Why not?
So, but besides that, did you have?
But yeah, So more experience with the small business stuff, other than Raptorstrike. I've touched on it on the channel, but I did try to do an Etsy shop. I tried to do print on demand before I started with a sweater that didn't sell any. Then I went to a sticker that sold two, and that kind of taught me a lot and taught me the basics of kind of e-commerce and merch and all that. And those are both, they weren't, I don't like to say that they were failures because it only fails when you stop,
It only fails when you stop and you don't try again, or you stop before anything can really happen.
Mm-hmm. Because
or you don't start ever.
Yeah. Because the thing is with those, I don't see it as like, oh, the first one failed and I go on to the second one. I see it as very linear. The sweater didn't sell, so I'm gonna go on to the next thing, which was the sticker. The sticker did too, but I didn't really keep up with it. And the print on demand, just unless you're doing high volume and you're buying their subscription, the margins on that just suck, And now with Raptorstrike, it's more so like, now I've learned that it's better to buy wholesale. It's better to buy through big manufacturers, and then control your margins that way. It's a little more work because now you have to package, you have to label, you have to ship out.
You have to upfront a lot of the cost too.
Mm-hmm. You have to, it's not a piece by piece basis where you're like, okay, I have 10 orders, so I only need to buy 10. You have to basically guesstimate how many you think you're gonna sell. So we need for us, we'd probably sell from XL to 3X the most, and maybe not as much as extra small or a 6X, or a 7X, whatever. And just learning those things come with experience. And that's kind of what I've learned in the small business kind of venture is there's a lot of work on the back end that y'all don't see when you go to these little mom and pop shops or even pop-up vendor booths. They have to upfront a lot of the costs, and they do, even if it's not like razor thin or like max mini margins, they still have to make their margins. And a lot of people say, oh, this little thing probably cost them 10 cents and they're trying to charge me $5. Yeah, but you didn't see what they had to do.
Now, it may have cost 10 cents, but they also bought 500 of them.
Yes. That's a big thing,
like,
too.
You don't pay 10 cents for one. You pay 10 cents for a lot.
Yeah. You pay sometimes, like, if you want to buy from 1 to 15, they're like $2 a piece. But if you buy in, like Noah said, the 500, then you get into the 10 cents or whatever the number is.
It's never 10 cents. But
it's never 10 cents. Unless you're going, like, I think I saw, like, 50,000
usually
order.
Yeah, but that's 10 cents, 50,000, do the math.
You're
or
still doing
$1.50 to get 50 of them. It's there's a lot of math behind it.
And that's not even factoring custom work. Because they can say like, oh, it's $1.50, but if you want custom, it's gonna bump up to $5 a piece.
Yeah,
and we ran into that.
We ran into what was it, $30 a pop for a hat? Yeah,
when it was like a $5 hat.
It was
$5 if you just bought the hat, but if you wanted to do any custom work, it jumped up to $30 a unit.
Yeah,
and it's like,
so that's why we've always said whenever we're selling something, we keep the margins low, but we order a lot of them. So, or we order the amount that makes sense for the, the cost to, we're talking a lot of business numbers that I guess we really shouldn't talk about, but.
Oh, it's not any like trade secret stuff.
No, it's not. But I mean, like
crazy. Like we could,
we
once we start
transparent.
Yeah. Once we start getting bigger and then actually like selling volumes of stuff, we can start being more transparent.
And I want to.
I would like to be more transparent, like with that. Like with our revenue and all that stuff like that. Because
like just know that if we're selling a hat for $25, we probably paid $24.
Pretty much.
Like, because that's our thing. We're not trying to get rich off of this. We're just trying to make enough so that we continue to help other people. Similar to sponsoring, the events, feeding people. That was our sponsor. We fed people. We helped the sponsor the veterans with their lodging. We want to help people any way we can.
And then going off of that, that's why we want to be as transparent as possible, because there are going to be viewers on here that want to start a business, that want to do something, that have goals, but maybe they're getting into their head. They don't know where to start, or they're getting negative feedback. We've kind of gone through the first like 3 stages of grief when it comes to small businesses. We still got 4 to go, but we kind of know the startup. We kind of know what's working for us. So we want to we don't care about like these gatekeeping people that are like, oh, I'm not going to show you because you're threatening.
Well, the other thing is like, then you'll be able to do it too. That's the problem. Everyone should be able to have the chance to do it, not be able to do it, period.
Now, I'm a big believer in like, I'm not going to do the work for you. Like, you got to do the work, but I'm going to show you how to do it.
We've mentioned that on other episodes. Episode 10 is probably where we said it. We're not going to do it for you. We can't fix your problems for you. We can guide you and give you suggestions, but they're just that. They're opinions and suggestions.
And will work for us.
It's like we can give you the tools so you can fix your own problem, but we can't fix your problem for you.
Like if you're at the bottom of a hole and I throw you logs and twigs and twine, and you still want me to get you out of the hole, I just gave you all the tools to make a ladder. And you did nothing to help yourself. So that's basically what we're trying to say.
Yep.
We'll give you the stuff to get out of the hole, but it's up to you to figure it out.
Exactly.
Because that's more than what anyone's ever done with us.
Yeah, and going off that, this started from...
Thank you for joining back. Welcome back.
We're up to 13 again.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. I didn't pay the internet bill, so I gave them a quick call.
Yeah, we didn't pay the light either. This is all candle flame.
Candle and mirrors.
Yeah. What did you just say? I was gonna go off that.
Tools.
Oh, this. So this was all from scratch. That we didn't know how to start a business. You know,
we still don't.
A little bit. We're getting there. Like Noah had his. Well, even before performance, Noah didn't know how to start a business. Now he has that experience to what needs to be done to just start it at a name.
You know, I would go to these entrepreneur meetings that they would have at like Geekdom and stuff.
Yeah, I remember we used to go to those for fun.
Yeah, because you know, you learn a lot. And you know, you would meet big business like Alamo Fireworks. You know, it was nice talking to him because for him, he understood that he came from a lot. Like his family already had the fireworks stands and like the shops and the factory. So he's like, I know I came from a different spot. He's like, I wouldn't be here like I am now if it weren't for my family. And it was nice to hear that. And it wasn't like that, oh, I did this all myself. He goes, no, I understand. I had a leg up.
Mm-hmm.
So if I failed, I had no...
He saw the opportunity he had and he ran with it.
Yes, but he also remembers that he had it.
Yeah.
He was humble about it, which is why I really enjoyed talking to him. Mm-hmm. But that was years ago. A lot of people just don't want to put in the work or just can't due to whatever life situation. And that's true.
I do have an opinion on that.
What is that?
Yes, there are going to be times where you're going to be really busy, and of course there are people with families and they have other stuff to worry about. But I think that if there is a will, there's a way. You know, I have a friend, like I hate it when I have people that I know that are like, oh, I'm sorry I didn't text you back in a week. I was just too busy. Like I've been too busy with my job. You know, I have a friend that is studying to be a doctor, has a full-time job and a family, and still finds a way to text me back. And he'll do it. I mean, I've done it too, where hey, you go to the restroom with your phone. That's when I text people back. Hey, I'm not gonna lie. That's when I text you back. That's the way I see it.
You guys got toilet thoughts.
I'll just
the late night bathroom toilet thoughts.
And then with like business things, if you're on TikTok or if you're scrolling through Instagram, or if you're scrolling through that's where I saw it, is that I was scrolling a lot on TikTok. And I was like, man, I just don't have time to make a reel or look at a post or something like that. I traded the TikTok scrolling for CapCut scrolling, and then I started making videos. So
those are the videos that I made came from.
Yeah.
Like you start, I have pictures, I have videos for that, I have this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And is that why you
text me for an hour straight?
Yeah. Hour and a half.
Dude camps out in the bathroom.
That's why my boss is always looking for me.
He's looking for you. Oh, Gino,
I don't care. Hey, y'all are on y'all's phones too. So.
Hey, he's in the bathroom like, yep,
Okay, all right.
Hey,
I gotta be honest. I was so zoned into the course that I was taking this week. I was in the bathroom with
your
my laptop.
Yeah. No, but
I can't say I can't say I haven't done that.
Yeah, I was just like I was in the zone, man.
Exactly. And that's the things that you have to do. And if you have like more responsibility stuff, there is always time. If you're on your phone, if you're watching TV, sub that out for studying, reading, working on your business. You know, it sucks. I mean, the way I look at like entertainment now is you have to earn it. So like, I want to watch One Piece and I want to play right now. I'm back on Need for Speed, playing that. But before then, I have to go to the gym. I have to do at least one reel. I have to read my book for my certification, and I have to do a little bit of my certifications that I'm working on the side. When I do all that, if I have time, then I'll go to my game or watch One Piece. But you have to do your own stuff first. If you're truly wanting to change your situation, nothing changes if nothing changes. You have to change something. You know,
we need a new shirt with that.
Yeah.
Or
be a doer.
Jet Tag Part 2. Nothing changes if nothing changes.
Yeah.
In red with white.
Part 2.5.
Part 2.5.
Part 2.5.
Part 2.
2.3.
But yeah, that's my rant about it. Of course, everybody's situation is different. You don't have access to everything everybody else has. But if there's a will, there's a way. And just from my personal experience, there's always time to cut out to be placed with something else. And it's like, I don't want to do that. Well, nothing's gonna.
Now, granted, you have 1 or 2 days out of the week where you're just like, I don't want to do anything.
Oh yeah.
And that we're not saying for just to make sure that our words aren't being minced and misunderstood. We're not saying you got to do it 100% every day and burn yourself out. Yeah, no. You hear that. I hear the amount of people I hear say that.
Yeah.
It's no. Either they already have a business in place, which makes sense because once the business is in place, again, if you already own it and you had a bad week, it's your fault. There's a difference. If you're working on really, Raptorstrike is a project. Should be called the Raptorstrike Project is what it should be called. But the main thing with that is if we didn't do a lot of the stuff of being out there or cutting out different times to do different stuff, a lot of the stuff that's here wouldn't be here. We wouldn't have photos from different or from celebrity.
Hell, the studio wouldn't be here if we didn't take the time to go in and
build it.
Yeah, build it after work.
Yep, coming over here and then
pretty much being here for a month straight. That wouldn't have happened.
And like even in the work for it, like doing the podcast, there are times we don't want to come in. There's times where we just want to go do our own thing and do something else. Or there's times we don't want to go to events. Like HeroCon. None of us wanted to go last week. Or none of us wanted to go to, like, you know what, we're tired, we're burnt out. We all had work and we were all out of town that week. But I was like, we should go. Yeah. Like, I don't want to go. Even today, I was like, yeah, But I was like, we should go.
I needed a day. I'm not going to lie to you.
Yeah.
I needed a day.
So it was just like, there are going to be days where you don't want to do something. If you're in your passion project, you don't want to do something.
Take a chill day. You're gonna have to do it, but sometimes just take it a day. Just take the day.
Unless of course it's important. But in that case, just like if it's not that important, just take the day off.
There's a lot of if thens.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's special situations where you're gonna have to go.
Like last week, it was a family emergency for us. Yeah. We didn't do a podcast. Things happen and they happen. We can't control everything.
Yeah, you never know what your situation's gonna be.
So, take it with a grain of salt. We're saying work for it. We did. We're still working on it. Man, I was gonna say something and I completely forgot.
Wow.
About working. What about you, Sal? What's your input?
Just do it.
Yep. He's Nike over here. Shia LaBeouf.
He's very short and shallow with it. I do want to show off something. Kind of switching gears. What do y'all think? Oh yeah, my Valentine's Day. One of my gifts. But
your gift.
I do.
Thank you.
I do want to hit on one thing if we're switching off the small business thing. Just to my notes, it's one last thing.
Yeah. One Piece.
So One Piece, if y'all didn't know, is this amazing anime. I do want to touch on something from my personal experience that I feel like could help with anybody trying to start their business. Utilize social media.
That's also not easy.
It's not easy.
Also not easy.
When I first, there was three jobs that I found very intimidating that I told myself I'd never do. Medicine, engineering, and marketing. I think those are the three most intimidating jobs for me.
You've done two out of the three.
I'll add one for you. Architecture.
See, okay,
I'm waiting for the comment. I said that specifically.
I see these three because I feel like I couldn't do any of these. Architecture, I've thought about it, and I feel like back then, if I would have put my head to go to school for it, I could have done architecture. But I feel like I couldn't have done these three things. Now I can't do architecture now. Like that's a whole another branch of
I'm pretty sure you can.
I mean, I'm sure you can. You just got to go back to school for
I went from working on to computers to working on cars to cooking to construction. You could do it.
But out of those three things, there is two that I'm doing right now, right? I'm doing broadcast engineering and which is basically electrical engineering. Now that I'm going into it, I'm like, why do I have to learn Ohm's law? And I'm like, what? And marketing. When Noah first told me like, hey, you should do the Instagram, I'm like, no, I'm not touching that.
9.
I was like, I do not want to touch Instagram. I don't want to touch social media. I don't want to do any of that.
But what he didn't realize is he's actually really good at social media, which is marketing.
Yes, that was my whole point. Is didn't like marketing, didn't like social media for that point because it's so abstract. There's no set. You have to like the
You have
graphics
to
that I
find your
made,
way and
you have
run
to-
with it.
You have to
There's
draw
no
it.
set
You
of
have to-
rules. You just have to go for it.
So that's what I didn't like. I didn't like that there was no set of rules. But after being a part of social media and seeing like, hey, it only takes 1 or 2 videos to really like pop off and get known, you know, and that was our biggest struggle, was like not having the following. Like we had the recognizable stuff like in San Antonio and in the off-road community, but we didn't have like the social media following to kind of back it up. But after working on that and seeing like, hey, social media is a great tool to kind of get your name out there and to honestly get a little bit of credibility, because really people will look like, oh, they have so many followers. It should be a trivial thing, but honestly it's just how the world is. Social media will help you a lot, and if you don't know, if you're starting a business, I think social media is one of the biggest things that could help you. I know I got a lot of my knowledge from YouTube videos, or even I would see like my first thing was how to grow Instagram on TikTok. That's how I searched the trends. That's how I searched that Reels work for growing an Instagram.
And in the end, it was Reels that made the big boom in following.
Exactly. So it just takes out like just, you know, no stupid Google search is a stupid Google search. You know, you're gonna
Unless you're Googling Google.
Also, Joey found out that once you hit over 2,000, it stops telling you when people subscribe
when you start
followed. Sorry.
Yeah, when you hit 50 likes on a post, it'll stop telling you that people liked. When you hit 2,000 followers, it'll stop telling you people followed.
Well, it'll do 50, 100.
Oh yeah, it'll give you the
500,
notifications.
1,000, 10,000. Ask me how I know. 'Cause
Yeah,
we got
it'll
all
do
those.
that, but it'll never say like so and so like your post. So and so.
No,
like your
it'll just tell you when you reach that number.
Mhm.
Yeah. Because when we stopped getting notifications that people were following, I figured, oh, it's over. Like we hit our 2,000 and that was it. And then I opened it at 3,000. I'm like, you're telling me 1,000 people followed and my phone didn't say nothing?
Yep. But yeah, kind of to tie up this last part about small businesses. My biggest advice is social media, and I mean, all the information you need is at your fingertips. It's all here, you know.
The world is at your fingertips. All of us.
Charger.
Thanks, Joe.
Yep.
Camera lens.
Camera lens. There it is.
Mouse.
Mouse.
That's just positive vibes.
Positive vibes.
Positivity.
Positivity.
Yeah.
Okay, go for it.
Well, I mean, this could be considered a small business. It's on a bigger scale.
Charger.
I'll say it's a medium-sized business.
Medium. Extra
But
medium.
Alina and I went to North Star Mall today, and as we were eating lunch, I look over and I'm like, there's a new store I've never seen. Granted, I haven't been to North Star Mall in forever. Actually, I think one of the last times I went was with you for lunch when we worked together, which was, what, 3 years ago now? 4 years ago? 5 years ago? It was 5 years ago. Oh,
yeah.
man. Okay.
Has
So
it really been that long?
it's been 5 years.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Dang. You're old.
My back hurts.
Yeah.
Both of y'all.
Man, hold on. I need to let that sink in real quick. It's been 5 years.
Wait, let that sink in.
Yeah, let that.
hey, let that sink in.
Okay, that
You
was
just
a
see
good
a sink fly across the studio.
one. But it's called Bunker 27, and I found them on Instagram. I talked to the
Owner?
not the owner, the
Employee?
the employees. Yeah, I was talking to them for a little bit. I was sharing with them about Raptors and rifles and all that. They are like a military apparel. They have a lot of different shirts of fighter jets and like the SR-71, the Nightbird, the Stealth Bomber. Like they have really cool apparel, and they have really cool bags. which I have a duffel bag that I use for traveling a lot, and we've had it for years, but it's starting to deteriorate. And like, so a gift that was given to me was actually one of their duffel bags, which is like canvas.
It's waxed canvas, which is really cool.
So thank you to Alina.
Isn't this leather?
Yeah, so it's like canvas and leather. So you got the leather straps, leather handles, the leather inserts for like the zipper for reinforcement, and I'm excited to start using it because it's bigger than the bag that I have now. But like, so they had other duffel bags that I really liked, and they were smaller. They were the round type ones, but they were smaller, and I was like, that's for like 1 day's worth of clothes for me, and I need like 3 days at a time. But I thought this was really cool. You know, you got a ton of can you see it? You got a ton of zippers like within the bag. I'm not gonna get up, so I'm sorry. You'll just have to go to their website. But to the owner, I don't know the owner's name, but if you ever see this video, you know, reach out to us on Instagram. I'm pretty sure we're gonna forward this episode over to you. I would like to speak to you. Here's some of their shirts.